Hi guys, welcome back to Decorating Happily Ever After. I'm Jeffrey Kevin. Well, have you been snowed in? I certainly have, but the snow has finally melted away. However, we're still in the midst of the cold, bleak winter. But whenever I go on social media, all I see are hearts and eggs and Easter bunnies. But it's too early, it's still winter. So that's the idea behind this tablescape, celebrating the somber beauty of winter. Winter is a nice respite between the hustle and bustle of the holidays and before the spring gardening begins. So I say let's enjoy it. This is my Winter Birds Tablescape. I'm using bird-themed dishes with a color scheme of browns and winter whites. So let's take a look around the table. For this tablescape, I'm using my tan tablecloth. It sort of has a woven texture. It makes me think of burlap, although it's not that stiff. I found it on eBay, and I thought it sort of looked like the dead grass of winter. And then I'm going to use these woven placemats. They make me think of bird nest. They came from Hobby Lobby. And for the china, I'm using this vintage pattern. It's Castleton. The pattern is Carlton. And found this at a thrift store. It's got a gold border and sort of a gold leaf design. I'm going to be using these pretty salad plates. I found these at Hobby Lobby this year. They have little birds and twigs and branches, and they made me think of a winter scene. Although I guess they're part of their fall line, I knew I would put them away and save them for the winter time. But they remind me of the birds that stay with us during the winter. I'm going to be using my wood-handled flatware. I picked this up years ago at JCPenney. And for the stemware, I'm going to use these pretty brown glasses. I got these on eBay, and they're sort of a bell shape. And I'm also going to use these vintage bird glasses. They were a thrift store find. They have a gold rim, and each one has a different bird. I suppose they're probably vintage barware. For the dinner napkins, I'm using brown, and I have these little wooden, I guess they're a little log, napkin ring, and they go with my bird and twig and tree theme. And finally, I have these cute little place card holders. They're a little bit of log, and they just have a little place to insert your card. And for today, I just used my business cards for Rose Tree Interiors. For my centerpiece today, in keeping with the winter theme, I'm just using bare branches that I got off of one of my trees. This is actually the saucer magnolia, and they're far from blooming yet, but they have buds. And I've just placed it in this log container. Actually, it's probably a candle holder. I think it's made to put a pillar candle in. I found that, I believe, at Goodwill. And I have used it before with a candle in it, but I thought today I would use it as a container and put my branches in it. And as you can see here, I've perched a little bird nest with some birds in it. And I thought that would be a sweet arrangement in keeping with the season. And of course, you could do the same thing with blooming branches later on in the season. But for now, we're going to keep it bare. Here at this corner, I've got a sweet little dish with a bird. I picked that up at Goodwill too. And I'm also using on each side these bronze candlesticks, or I guess they're more of an antique brass. I've got several of them, but I'm just using 2 today with white candles. And then I've also put around on the table these little brown votives to pull out our color scheme of browns and whites. And in keeping with the white, I thought my milk glass would be a good choice today. Here I've got a hobnail sugar and creamer, and they were a thrift store find too. In fact, I think almost nothing on this table was bought new except for maybe the bird plates. And as you can see, the bird plates have got different birds on them. That one might be a finch. I'm sorry guys, I'm not very knowledgeable on birds. I'm not a bird watcher, I don't have time. Here is another little compote that I actually got very recently. I bought a box of milk glass. There were several compotes and glasses and several things. I don't have a big collection of milk glass, but I do have some pieces. Here's another little compote. It actually has its Ohio tag on the inside. I left it. It's been there for all these years. And with my bird theme, I thought my antique birders would be appropriate. These are leather, and I got them years ago from an antique picker that came by my store, and I thought they were pretty. So I put those on the table today. Here I've got my milk glass pitcher. I believe I got the picture at an antique mall years ago. And this is a little footed dish that's milk glass. And guys, I'm not for sure what this piece is for. Mother found it for me at the thrift store a while back, and I have the cake stand that matches it. And she described it as being the cake stand but bent up on the ends. I thought perhaps it would be for bananas, like a banana boat. They fit nicely in it. I didn't put them on this table today because they didn't go with the color scheme, but bananas fit nicely in it, and I suppose it could have even had some horrible plastic flowers in it at one time, but let me know what you think that is, because I'm not for sure. And here you can see the tag that's on this one. I believe it's Palestine, Ohio, is where the company's from. I remember that. And this is another little compote. I know florists used to use those. Seemed like my grandmother had an arrangement with statice and little soaps. Little rose-shaped soaps. Do you guys remember those? They were horrible. But I believe my grandmother's was in that container, although I don't believe that's hers. I believe it was in that same container. Here at the back, I've got a pair of, I guess these are probably not birders, but they're leather binoculars, and I thought they too went with the theme. I got them from the same antique picker, and I keep those upstairs in the caravan room. And I have a silent butler on the table. This one I use a lot with my casual settings. It's the pewter one with the wood handle. Most of my silent butler collection are very formal porcelain with people and roses and flowers, but this is one of the casual ones, so I thought I would use it today. You guys know I like to have a stand, a stack of cake stands, And I've got a couple of vintage ones, the square one, and I think this one looks like a snowflake. And then the one on the top is a reproduction Mosher cakes tin, a little cupcakes tin I mean. But I like to stack them. They're so handy for putting brownies or cupcakes or any kind of desserts on. But like I said earlier, guys, it seems like everybody rushes everything and gets the hearts and the eggs out, and I love all that, and believe you me, I'll be getting it all out too very soon. But I want to enjoy the winter a little while and enjoy the beauty that there is, although it's more somber, maybe a little bit sad, but before you know it, it'll be springtime. But for now, let's enjoy the winter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment below and give this video a thumbs up and share it with a friend. Be sure and subscribe to my channel, Decorating Happily Ever After, and turn on the notifications bell so you never miss a video. I'm Jeffrey Kevin, hoping that you decorate happily ever after. Bye-bye now.